Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Disattractions. Number 18 today.
Yeah, let's go, Disattractions! I'm so sorry, I don't know where that came from.
It's passion. Welcome back to another episode. We're on our 18th one. We are getting into the double, we're almost ending off in the teens now. I'm getting closer and closer to 20 episodes. Woo!
We can smoke Newports now.
Almost. Oh, yes, so. Yeah, we can smoke Newports. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Can we? Is it 18 for cigarettes?
I think so.
For some reason, I thought it was 21.
Wild. Well, here's what's wild. You can smoke at 18, but you can't drink until you're 21. But which one's more destructive, really?
I can go get killed in the military at 18.
That too. But you can't drink while you're there.
No, you can't.
Yeah, kind of wild. Anyway, that's another conversation for another time.
But, just to start this episode off, to kind of continue what we were talking about last time, there's some more new information on Test Track 3.0 is as now full ride-throughs and I guess what you consider that as like news or influencer previews have happened over at Test Track 3.0, and you can go watch it for yourself right now. Go check it out if you like. It looks really cool. Has good old Epcot vibes.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff.
It's kind of what we wanted it to be, like what we talked about last episode.
Yeah, exactly.
They pretty much did it. They did what we wanted, which is maybe the first time Disney's done that in the last 10 years in their parks. So hey.
Yeah, so you know what it's a win. We're taking our wins. They're small, but we'll take them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna blow my nose right now.
You're good, dude.
You can make an edit of that.
No, that's an ASMR moment right there.
Yeah, there you go.
It's allergy season for us, so.
Yeah, it is allergy season for us.
It's
I'm kind of suffering. If I'm a little loopy this episode, if I'm a little tired, it's the allergy season. You know?
Gotcha. Well, just to move on to what we're talking about today, this is going to be a very interesting episode because it's a little bit not modern, but like it's relevant. Today we're going to talk about Undertale specifically. I know it's not necessarily relevant because Deltarune's chapters 3 and 4 have come out in the last month, and they're very, very a hot topic right now with theory making and wondering what's going on with chapters 3 and 4 because every single theory from chapter 2 has been just denied 100% completely. So everyone's talking about that right now. But Brett hasn't played Deltarune, so we have both played Undertale, though.
Yeah, it's been probably 8 years now since I played it, so...
Yeah, it came out in, 2014? 2015?
It came out in 2015.
2016, 2015?
I probably played it in 2016 or 17, depending on what was going on.
Right.
I believe I played it in 2017, though.
I want to say it was the same time for me, too. And then, I would replay it every year. I felt like religiously. I don't know why. It was every year around Christmas time. I don't know why I would. I would just replay it.
But you just buy it for a different system,
I'd buy it for a different system every time because it makes you feel bad for restarting a save. So, I'll give Toby Fox $10 more.
I mean, that's fair. It's not an expensive game.
It's not. For what it is, it's the cheapest amazing game you could ever buy. So, it's 100% worth the deal.
Yeah.
And Deltarune's only $25, and it's a much bigger game. So, it's, we're living good.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we're going to talk about Undertale. I guess you kind of already explain your experience with Undertale specifically.
Yeah.
But you can go a little deeper if you like.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily I'm not well versed in all the video games or whatever, but I heard about Undertale a lot. Definitely back in this time, I was really into stuff like Over the Garden Wall and Adventure Time and Steven Universe. I had a really big phase of some of these things. Mm-hmm. And Undertale would get grouped definitely with those cartoons.
Yeah.
As an adjacent thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept hearing about it. And then my sister played it, and she was obsessed with it. She was it's the best thing I've ever played. And she pretty much forced me to play this thing. Brett, you have to sit down and you have to play this. It changed my life. And then I played it, and then it kind of changed my life too. And I thought it was amazing. Um, and like I do kind of remember like playing the last stretch of it and like kind of getting choked up because it was like I was leaving my friends, and I've never really had that experience in the video game. Probably
Hmm.
since, honestly, like it's just a special little piece of art, and I like the fact that like a lot of the game plays as like a comic book too, and I'm a
Hmm.
big comic book person, so I think that was something that also very much gravitated.
Yeah.
Because I think around this time, a few months after this, I played Night in the Woods, which I'd
Right.
still probably say is my favorite video game of all time. But this is up there for sure.
Right.
Yeah, with my I haven't played every game, but
Right.
the ones I played, like those two are way up there for me.
Of
So,
course.
yeah,
Yeah. That's honestly, that's
I'm
on
so
that.
sorry.
That's the same. No, you're good. It's the
Yeah,
same way for me too. I played Undertale. I don't even know what year I played it. Sure.
yeah,
I didn't play it on release. I can tell you that. It took a minute. Um, but it's obviously has big praises for a big reason. It's exactly the point that every artist makes, that you don't need to have high budget to make one
mm,
of the most meaningful things. It made
exactly.
by maybe a small team, less than 5 people, mainly headed by the main guy Toby Fox with artist Timmy Chang. Um, but was able to make something so vibrant, so emotional, so meaningful out of what the Super Nintendo could make back in 1991. Like, it's not 100%. There's some things that are newer, obviously, with the game engines, but it's low art. Like, on the, it's not very intensive. Art sometimes can be absolutely beautiful in these games. Don't get me wrong, but again, the writing, the mechanics, the everything about these games, both of the games, Deltarune and Undertale, are just filled with love, and you can tell immediately from all of it. There was
Yeah,
so much passion in there. Everything was thought of. Everything you do has a purpose or meaning to it. There's nothing that random happens for no reason. Usually, everything will happen for a reason, and there's a reason, I guess, why it changed a lot of people's lives was because of that point. And so, doing a theme park thing based off of that, I really don't think you're going to get the same thing at the end of the day. I didn't want to say that, is that Undertale, there's no way to recreate that into a show, a movie, or it's a video game forefront, and it's always going to be that. You can't really
yeah,
recreate that in a different medium. So doing it in a theme park is not going to do it justice. Just right off the bat, I'm going to say it, because it just is. It's the way it is because of the game. Because it's a game. You can't make Undertale and anything else. The way it deals with, again, spoilers for Undertale, I guess, if guys don't have not played it, surprisingly, but the game has to deal with the like real life mechanics of saving, real life mechanics of knowing it's a video game and that it will end, and that it's a temporary thing, and but to the characters in the game, it's their whole lives. So it's very meta that way. So doing this into a theme park, it will be a little difficult, but we'll still try. um,
yeah.
but yeah, I guess that's my experience with Undertale. I absolutely adore the game. It's in my top 10 video games of all time to ever exist, and I know that's not a very hot take. A lot of people agree, but at the same time,
Mm.
there's a reason for it. So
Well, I do feel like there'd be some people who would scoff a little bit at that just because of the Undertale fan base being
agree.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
interesting. But that's not the show's. I mean, that's not the show. What am I talking about? That's not the game's fault.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing about fan bases, is that when you play a game, like, whenever I hear about a bad, like, oh, it has a bad fan base, I'm not going to play the game. That doesn't mean nothing. Like, if you don't play a
Yeah,
game just because of a fan base, that's not a great thing to do, because again, the game was made before the fan base.
yeah,
So like, if you play the first game in a series that's like before the fan base even existed, of course that's not going to affect the game. I understand if it, like, later down the line a fan base might affect a game later on down its life, but
a
or
sequel or
a
whatever.
sequel or whatever, yeah. But you should
Yeah,
give it a shot. I think everyone should give Undertale a shot. It's easy for people who don't know how to play video games. It's decent to pick up and play. It is a little bit more. It's not like a Mario game where you can immediately just jump in. Oh, I know what to do. It's
Yeah.
still a beginner RPG, I would say. It's not very complex. You dodge the moving pieces of of like enemy attacks. Not very difficult.
I mean, it
Um,
very much feels like it comes from the Earthbound era.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
inspired by Earthbound. Toby Fox used to
To
make
play.
Toby Fox used to make Earthbound mods. Because that's his like favorite game series, I think, one of them at least.
Okay,
So
that checks out though.
100%,
Yeah.
that's what it was inspired off of. But getting to the actual content of the podcast, I guess, what we've created today. Um, I kind of want to, before we get into the rides and the dieting and the shopping and everything, I kind of want to set this a precedent that about the specific area that we're going to be doing. Because, of course, you have to do the underground. That makes sense. That's the whole story of Undertale, is that it's in the underground.
Imagine you made an
Um,
Undertale ride and it took place in like LA.
yeah, it's like, I mean, that's a very Toby Fox thing to do. But, again, what was I lost my train of thought. We want to set it before the events of Undertale, meaning that before the angel prophecy, or as in a way to say it, Frisk came down as like the angel that would empty the underground one way or another. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Either you're saving
Yeah.
everyone or you're killing everyone.
Yeah.
They say that as emptying the underground. The underground went empty. So, I keep losing my train of thought. But we want to set it before then, so that the events of Undertale take place, so we can kind of have more creative freedoms here, with what goes on in the world. The thing is, though, is that there is an issue with like, well, we are humans, and obviously monsters do not like humans because they've had a war with them. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work. I honestly don't know, because if it was a real Undertale theme park and we're all humans, all the children would get killed because they would want their souls taken and then used it for the, to get out of the underground. So I don't know how that would work, but we're gonna assume that they're okay with humans for a bit. Don't know why, because that's the only way we can make this work.
I guess you could have a sort of portal that takes you into the world at the universe style, and it turns you into a freaky little guy.
I guess I could say like you're considered a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Minion ride.
You become a minion. I forget that you get minion-tized.
Yeah. That's. Imagine you become a minion and they hate you even more.
Gosh. But yeah, so I guess you get transformed into a monster. Not 100% with that, but you know, it could work.
Mhm.
But again, I think this area it wouldn't be like Undertale where everything is just in like a long line almost, like going left to right. Obviously, this would be chunks, maybe little chunks of each little area. All coalesced into like what's considered the underground. Don't know if this would all be inside though. That's the thing. It would need to be all interior. It would need to be inside, because you can't have sunlight. Because it's the underground. So I think this would all need to be almost like a huge building, almost esque to, whatchamacallit, the Mexican Pavilion over in Epcot. Has to be a big version of that.
Because I was about to say, I guess, like, you could this whole Monsters universe and make it kind of look gothic all the time. But if it is in darkness and you go during the daytime, that would not make much sense.
It just doesn't make sense because it's then the characters are already on the surface. You know what I mean? Then there was no point.
That'd be kind of cool if we made an illusion looking like you were going underground.
Exactly. I think it would be funny if you go underground, you go in this building, maybe like dig a couple feet down and have the building be kind of under the rest.
Yeah.
But like it's still above, but at least you look like you're going underground into the pit. Maybe you can like almost go up, because like this is my nerd knowledge, is that there's like a mountain called Mount Ebbot, Ebbot, or something like that, that the actual kid falls down at the start. You can have that same mountain in like a theme park, whatever, and you don't really know it's Undertale themed unless you totally go inside the mountain and it's like, oh wow, you're in the underground or whatever. But this time you can freaking leave. I don't know why. That's the thing is, when you fall in the underground, usually you can't leave. So I don't know the continuity of this. You're just gonna have to run with me on this because this isn't gonna be lore accurate.
Okay.
Because again, like people who fall into the underground can't get out unless they kill a monster. And steal their soul to get out, or steal their partial bit of a soul to get out. So like, we're taking that out. Again, this is completely, we're retconning that in our little world here because it's hard to even do this in the first place.
I leave. They're like, stab this thing.
Yeah, stab this thing. So you kill a monster. So you can get out, because that's the only way for a human to get out is to kill a monster and use the last little bit of their, I think it's determination, because they have the tiniest bit of determination left. And if you take it, you can use it to break the barrier. Not break the barrier, but get through the barrier. Or it takes a monster 7 human souls, because it takes that much power.
Maybe somebody just hands you a barrier pass and you use it.
I guess so. It's like that's the white dog could just give you, like, he would just code you out. That's very something that could happen. You leave it, and then you see a white dog on a computer just saying player location equal the rest of the park or whatever.
Or you could, when you walk through the park, you're disguised as a monster. They don't know that you're human. And as you leave the park, they're like, "It's a human, get them out!" And then you leave.
I guess so. They would want to kill you to get your soul. I'm trying to think. I think the funniest way, a very Toby Fox way, is just for him to move your location. That'd be kind of funny. This would be like you walk out like a tube, and it's just like an animatronic little white dog is on a keyboard, just code that just says player location equal this or whatever, and you just get basically booted out.
And then you just end up in Albuquerque, New Mexico for no reason.
Yeah, and then Walter White's like, Jesse, stay on, we got papyrus spaghetti, Jesse.
When are we doing the Breaking Bad episode?
We gotta do it maybe next time. We gotta do a Breaking Bad episode. We can do it.
We can do it.
That'd be kind of fun. And so I guess we could do that way. That's kind of so I guess we can, because we can retcon as long as the white dog's there to make a fourth wall breaking reference.
Exactly.
And so I guess we'll move on to the rides here. We have 2. And I'm gonna do the stupid one first, because that's the kind of we want to do the stupid one, I guess. Very Toby Fox ride. It's just called Ride Under Construction.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. And it's a really, really rudimentary, really cheap looking dark ride that you go on that's just completely under construction by the white dog.
There's literally wire sticking out from the wall. Just like robot things that aren't entirely.
There's like fake plaques at the front that's like has not been checked off by a safety manager or whatever. Like
each ride vehicle comes with guns and you can shoot things
like for no reason or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like it gets too overpowered, so like later in the ride the guns just don't work anymore because the white dog patches it out.
The numbers don't matter. Like it doesn't keep scoring at the very end. It's like you made 100,000 points. Good job.
But like the scores don't add up. Meaning like you sometimes shoot and you get negative numbers. It'll just knock down your score for some reason. But then sometimes you'll get a super bonus that like gets you to 100 million points. But then the next shot just zeroes out your score. Your score is like irrelevant.
You know, it'd be fun.
Huh.
So if you didn't shoot anything, you get the pacifist route. So you get the same amount of points, and you can go to the gift shop and get like a pen.
Yeah.
And then if you do things, you get the genocide route, and then you get scolded when you walk out of the
Actually, it'd be kind of funny if like you could do that, and at the end of something, you could get like a little, like if you do the pacifist route, you get a certain section that's different than if you got like the genocide route. So like if you shot things that like you could, like if you got a certain amount of point, you were considered a genocide route, and so you would go to like a secret Sans boss fight, or like go to a secret like white dog boss fight that said like the ride's not even made and you had to kill everything. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's Sam just verbally berates you and your family.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes. Yep. The ride stops and he stands in front of you.
Yep. And it's just like, all right. And then if you go the pacifist route, you get to see like a whole bunch. You get treated with like a whole bunch of animatronic characters of all the friends you made along the way, type thing.
Yeah.
And then if you get neutral route, you get none of it. You get neither of those. If you get if you're not doing good enough to get genocide, or if you don't shoot nothing, you have to just that ride ends.
And then you get a fast pass to It's Tough to Be a Bug. It
Yep.
doesn't exist anymore. That's the
It just except you can't use copyright, so it's tough to be a grub. It's tough to be a grub.
This is what we're breaking. Undertale's gonna be an Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Undertale is gonna be it because if you got a giant mountain, it could fit in. Like we talked about earlier, have giant Mount Ebbet, you would never know. You'd walk
Yeah.
down there, it's like, animal conservation, more like animal genocide.
No.
But pretty much, I also think, I mean, Brett had this idea of, like, one of the scene of the construction where, like, you get to a point where, like, you're almost like an IGN-esque building, like a computer reviewer, and the white dog's purposefully lowering his review score. For, like, no reason.
Yeah, he's like, we can't get a 10. That would make us too mainstream.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a Hideo Kojima moment.
Yeah. I want you to hate my
I want you to hate my game because it's underground at that point. Underground reference.
Ooh, Underground Railroad. Wait, what?
Maybe that should have a thing where it's like there is the Underground Railroad.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like as a
That gets
train,
really complicated.
as a train system. And then like all the underground people are just unaware of what actually that means.
Yeah, they're like, huh? What?
What do you mean? This is called we're in the underground and here's a railroad.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that's silly. Going on. Yeah, so that's pretty much all that ride is just like again like just a Toby Fox joke ride to like kind of like have all the jokes in and just have like all like the meta stuff that's going on in that ride.
Yeah.
So that you can have that area. And it's just the queue is just awful. Like it's just the instead of having gates, it's just it's just plank boards, girders, like stuff that's just like it's not made yet.
Yeah.
But like if you come back in 10 years, they actually like complete the ride. And it, like on the ride you see things that would like almost retcon the entire story as we know it, and it's just not completed yet. And everyone's like, why is this the way it is?
Like you had to be there.
Why in the 5th room on the genocide route does I'm trying to think of like I don't know.
Yo Gabba Gabba shows.
Yeah, why does Yo Gabba Gabba show up, dude? Like, why on the 4th room of the pacifist route do you get a scene of Shrek and Simon Cowell making out? Like,
Yo, that's sick, bro.
I always have to make a making out joke in one of our podcasts. No,
Yeah.
it's done like every time.
That would Shrek into Simon. Simon Cowell was a part of the People 42.
He actually judged the event and gave it a golden buzzer.
Yeah. Actually,
He cried.
We're about to do some breaking news here. All right. Okay, breaking news. Simon Cowell is Grimace's brother.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild. They're both related.
Simon Grimace.
Yeah, that's the name of their dad.
And so he split up his name into 2 of his children. Grimace got Grimace
Yeah.
and Simon Cowell got Simon.
No, nobody said that he was humble.
And the mom was Julie Andrews.
Yeah. Simon Grimace and Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
And
wild.
their
Dude.
second
What
cousin
crossover
removed
is this?
Mitt Romney.
Yep.
Mhm.
Moving on. The other ride, which I was thinking of, and the whole reason why I wanted it to be the underground before the events of Undertale, is I wanted to have a True Lab Dark ride, where if you don't know, the True Lab is the section of Undertale's pacifist route that you learn that the monsters were experimenting with determination, which determination isn't just a word that means to like consistently like to try to be courageous and to be follow through and to stay strong. It actually is a substance that humans have within them that monsters do not. That is something that's a big thing in Undertale, and that its determination keeps them alive, and that like you can, as long as you have determination, you can keep on retrying and saving and retry because humans have determination. Monsters don't have that. So when they die, they die. They don't have a chance to retry or a chance to do that, all that. So they were trying to inject monsters with determination, but then it turned out to be a whole bunch of it dysmorphed the monsters' bodies, and made them into weird amalgamations that are not even recognizable.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I kind of wanted to do like a dark ride where like we are monsters viewing the determination experiments like as a big new upcoming thing that was viewed as positive. But then you're in these experiments and you're seeing them happen and they go wrong and you see the amalgamations come to front. Almost like a horror ride almost, because it'd be really cool going in very like sciencey, scientifically like Alphys, and because Sans was on the project of this. Sans could be there. He was, all this stuff was going on. But then halfway through the ride, the amalgamations happen, and for the rest of the ride, it's like this creepy, eerie thing that's going on.
You can make it a haunted house.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool to have these really cool set pieces of these really cool animatronics of like these monster misformed monsters that happened, and it's the real story of it's a part of Undertale that hasn't really been too much explored, was like what exactly happened. We just know that it happened. Mm-hmm. And we know that it gave a happy resolution. In Undertale, all the amalgamations, they got to go home to their families, and they're being taken care of by, even though how messed up they are now, they still got to go home to their families and live with them. So, like, at the same time, there's a positive resolution if you play the game, but it's a peek into what happened during those experiments that we necessarily really don't know. So, and it'd be a really cool, interesting, kind of thrilling dark ride.
Yeah, I dig it. I think it's a fun idea. I really do.
It also deals with like the core idea of Undertale, with the idea of determination, the idea of saving, the idea of like coming back again and again and again and again and again and not giving up. And how lucky we are that we do have the ability to come back from things. Like in real life, obviously, if we die, we're dead. But like, we still have the ability as humans to continue to try to fight back against anything and always keep trying again and again and again if we fail. So there's a positive message in there somewhere.
Somewhere in the madness, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
I think it's a cool idea.
Yep. So that's what you could do. So many things with it too. I mean, you could have a freaking papyrus dating ride if you want to, where you have to press buttons in the right places to get the date to go well.
I think we should just do an interactive experience where you're actually dating someone dressed up in a Santa.
That'd be freaking hilarious. Date someone dressed as Papyrus. He has this freaking super cool dude shirt on that he has.
Yeah, he gives you spaghetti.
Maybe he gives you his frozen spaghetti or whatever it is. He has his race car bed. Because the funniest part about the date is you do it directly in his room.
Oh, that is true.
You just do directly in his room, and you do his date in his room, and it's just so stupid. And he friend zones you. In the date. That's its own thing. But those are two rides that we have. If any other true Undertale fans have any more to say about it, and they're like, actually, you should guys be doing this, let us know. I need to replay Undertale now that I've played Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, which blew my mind. Absolute masterpieces. Peak gaming. So if you haven't played Deltarune, get to it, because it's really good.
I need to.
That's great. Moving on to dining, I guess. There's a lot you could do here. There's a surprisingly good amount of food in Undertale. And the first thing that came to my mind was Grillby's, because Grillby's is such an icon in Snowdin. It's so cozy.
Yeah.
Having an animatronic, or like having some way where you could have like a fire that looks like the fire grill. His name's Grillby, obviously. Like he could be like serving burgers or something fun. It'd just be fun to have that cozy and like environment. You could have like a whole bunch of the different types of foods. Maybe you could have Sans hot dog stand that you see in the game. You could have whatever inside there. You could have, I'm trying to think of all the different foods off the top of my head that are in the game, but you can have the burgers there, the fries, the everything that you'd have normally at Grillby's, which is pretty self-explanatory if you've ever played the game. The second thing I have for dining is Papyrus' spaghetti. Yeah. I don't know if it would be purposely bad. I think it'd be funny if it was really bad on purpose, but at the same time, I don't know if you could really sell that at a theme park if your food was purposefully bad.
Yeah, but it would be kind of funny. I mean, if it was mid, you could get away with it. Like,
Yeah, if it was
like
mid. Right. If it was like mid, where like you could like it could be like, oh, because like in the game, I think it's known as it's really just bad. But like maybe before then he could, because maybe before Frisk came, like maybe he did better at cooking it. I don't know. Um, Maybe you could have like a Papyrus spaghetti stand where you could just get his freaking famous, disgusting spaghetti. Um, I also have voice crack. The diner where you talk to, I forget the name of it, but not even a diner, it's like a restaurant where you sit down with Sans and you talk to him and he kind of like shows his true colors of like he knows more than what he's letting on. I don't know if you remember that scene if you're on the pacifist route. There's a point where he takes you, going about to enter the hotel, and he drags you off and he has dinner with you and he's like, you know, I kind of know like what's going down here. So like, and it'd be a nicer sit down restaurant and you could have food there and it's really vibey. You could play, It's Raining Somewhere Else, that soundtrack, which is it's low key one of my favorites on the soundtrack.
You could have cookies.
Yeah, cookies.
Yeah.
What type of cookies?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Why?
When I think of Undertale, I think of chocolate chip cookies.
Oh wait, yeah, we could totally add like, I'm trying to think of sweets. Yeah. We also have butterscotch pie. Like that's Toriel's big thing is butterscotch cinnamon pie. How did I not think of that? That's like a huge thing. We could add that. Yeah. We could add that in there at like Grillby's, or you can get it at the anywhere. Yeah, for Toriel's.
You also gotta have burgers because Grillby's just kind of sounds like a burger thing.
It's a burger thing. It's 100% a burger thing.
Yeah, so you get burgers.
Yep. And then at the diner, you can get maybe more like sit down food. Like maybe you can have nicer steak dinners or pasta or something.
Can you imagine having a steak dinner at the Undertale world?
That'd be funny. But like the steak is like cooked in like the shape of the dog.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like has a little flag in it that has a really funny graphic of Papyrus in a chef hat.
I love it. That's good.
And then also I kind of was looking through the wiki and I noticed that I forget there's like Mettaton burgers that are in the shape of Mettaton.
Yeah.
They're Mettaton brand. The place is called Mettaton Brand Burger Emporium. That's the place it's called. And it has that NPC, I forget his name. Oh crap, but he's just absolutely wild. Burger Pants? Is that his name? I want to say that's his name. But he's like his sprite work is just absolutely crazy. But he works there and he's like basically the minimum wage worker and he's like, I hate my life. Because I work minimum wage. That type of guy. You can have him serving those burgers too. So as I was saying, you could also just have the hotel there as well, because we haven't really done a hotel at all on Disattractions yet. Which honestly, we could do a hotel episode, theming something to a really like a hotel. You know what I mean? I know we did actually talk about the sweet life of having a hotel at the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Actually, now that I think about it, but we haven't done an episode purely on theming a hotel. Cause that'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
But we could have the Mettaton Hotel there, and you could like, maybe the show is in the hotel that we have for him. Oh, we haven't even mentioned the show. We want to have a Mettaton Shows TV special, and that kind of just makes sense because he's a show robot for the underground. So it's like, might as well. You could have the show in the hotel that people could go to. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Almost feels like a Las Vegas type thing. But yeah, you could go to his show, and the show is consisted of like all the different stuff he's done. So maybe like a cooking show, and it might even have like audience participation, almost like the mini games in Undertale where you have to cook, but like he intentionally will like sabotage it for the point of the show, because in the game he would purposely try to like, not purposefully, but like would almost like pretend to kill the human. Because that's what he was told to do, and it was good for the show. He didn't actually want to do it. He just was doing it for a good show. But maybe you could like purposely sabotage stuff for the sake of the show or something. I'm not 100%
Yeah.
too sure. I think it should be fun. And maybe he could have his new suit form, the one he changes instead of like the robot. The thing is, like, it didn't happen. His first appearance, his first debut of it wasn't Undertale, so there's no way it could have happened before then. So maybe it's just the normal Metaton we know. That's the shows and events. Oh, we forgot about shopping. We skipped over shopping, I guess.
Something that I've always wanted, I'm passionate about this,
Yes.
is Undertale on vinyl. You'd have to put that on vinyl, that soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so crisp and clean on vinyl. I figured they probably have one.
I
but,
think they might. Check it out.
Let me look it up. Oh yeah, they definitely do. It's $89.
That checks out.
So cool.
I'm sure it was a limited run thing. They made a certain amount of copies of it.
Oh, you can add it to your cart right now.
Oh wow! So it's just that price?
Yeah.
That's expensive. I guess because they. Oh, makes sense.
I mean, isn't the soundtrack like 2 hours or something like that? They scored the whole game just about, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Let me go on. Let me go on the Spotify's. Toby Fox. Oh, I'm curious.
It's about an hour and a half.
Is that what it is for Undertale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sure once Deltarune's full score comes out, it's going to be 4 or 5 times that length.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. It is interesting to try to score or have like video game soundtracks on vinyl, especially if they're pretty big, because they have so much music in it. It's like insane how much music is in video games.
Yeah.
But yeah, selling Undertale vinyls would be great. Selling plushes of the white dog, plushes of all the main characters. You could sell. I'm thinking what else you could sell. You could sell just random knickknacks from the game that just like. I'm trying to think of like a specific thing I'm thinking of. Like maybe you could sell like cool dude shirts from Papyrus's date night. I think because he has the thing that says he has like I'm a cool dude on it on the front.
Yeah.
You could sell somewhat type of t-shirt. You could just sell t-shirts of I'm trying to think. I don't know why I'm racking my brain trying to think of like different things to sell at a physical shop. Like,
I mean, you can sell the plush of the dog.
yeah. That's a pretty big one. I just can think of so many more things for Deltarune because that's more fresh on my mind right now. No. But you could sell.
You could sell little figurines of Sans, and you like push a button on them. They go. That'd be pretty funny.
And then randomly, it just has a completely normal voice out of nowhere. That's like, "Hello there.
My name is Sans.
I am Sans.
I have really bad font choice.
And that is purposeful.
It is the joke.
It is the joke. I am the joke.
I'm the problem. It's me.
I think it'd be great if you could, like, obviously be able to buy a physical copy of the game and everything, but I think it'd be cool if, like, you could have, like, you could buy different things depending on what ending you got on one of the rides.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did genocide route, you could be sold, like, toy replicas of the weapons, because you're using weapons a lot, but you can only buy the figurines of all the friends if you did the pacifist route. That'd be interesting.
That'd be fun.
And I was like lock things behind.
Yeah.
Show
us your coupon.
Yeah, or coupon, or like you could have like almost kind of what Super Nintendo World does, and have like the app, and then once you're done with the ride, you could scan it at a station to tell what ending you got, and then before you check out, you can scan using the app saying, "Hey." But then no one would do that because that would be restricting merchandise sales. Yeah. Like very much, no one would ever do that. But if we could, that'd be great.
I mean, it could be like an exclusive thing that you get. Like Disney does that every once in a while, honestly.
Yeah, I guess you could get like an exclusive pin or something, like if depending on what you got.
Like if you're a Vacation Club member, you get choice of the merchandise.
Right, like, that's true. I guess you could do that. That'd be fun. For specific store locations, I was thinking of like the store that's in Snowden that has like the I think it's a bunny that operates that store in there. You could have the Spider Bake Sale, and maybe you could have like the spider. It's only for a certain amount of like time before, like maybe it's at this time to this time, and they have like these carts they can bring out that sell baked goods. They have the spider donuts, the spider. I don't know what else they have also. I think they have spider cookies. Maybe I'm trying to remember. They have like all these different break sale that you can also do a meet and greet with. I want to say it's Muffet. I think it's Muffet. You can have a meet and greet with Muffet or whatever, and then like they'll scold you for like not giving them money, because that's what they normally do. And of course, like this is the I slide in because I want to slide in. But in Deltarune, Sans has his own shop. That's just never like it's opened one time. It's just never open.
They only open it on Christmas Day.
No, literally, like it's like you go up to it, and it's like you go up to Sans, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna be open here in a minute, just wait," and you go and check the sign that says closed, and it says, "Well, the sign says closed." He's like, "Okay, I'll go change that," and you go back to it, and you go back to him. He's like, "It still says closed." He's like, "Yeah," and then it just ends, and you can never get in the store. Like, imagine if that happened, where like there's a store that just it looks like it exists, but it's just never open. There is one time in the game that it is open, and when you go in, it's like he's like, you can't check out. Because he's standing at the cashier, and he's like, "I'm actually the janitor," and he's like, "I thought you owned the place," and he's like, "Yeah, I do own the place, but right now I'm the janitor." So you can't actually buy anything.
I forgot about that. That's really funny.
That's a Deltarune thing. So that's why I'm like, oh, it's just stupid. But it'd be funny if like that was in there, but it's not going to be. But I thought I'd add that in there. But looking at this, that's pretty much all we got. It's Deltarune, or not Deltarune. Undertale is again kind of what I want to state back to the beginning. It's the medium it's only going to necessarily work in is the video game medium, because that's just the way the world is made around. Mm-hmm. And that's just...
Well, this is a fun thought experiment anyways.
It is. It's fun to play with the world's ideas and creative themes. I would love the whole world to be some... like how the whole theme park world could be meta in some way. I'm not 100% sure how it could be meta, almost like how the game does saving. You know what I mean? Where like there's gameplay mechanics that it recognizes that happen. Mm-hmm. Versus, I don't know how you go meta in a theme park other than like, oh, we know that you coming here and everything is fake. You know what I mean? Like... Yeah. I don't know how you go meta with that. Maybe that takes some more brain power and more thought behind it, but like, I guess it's just hard to think of a way to do that. Because I don't really know too many theme parks that actually really go fully meta and recognize that, yeah, this is a theme park that we're in. Other than like Simpsons, I feel like it does that sometimes. It's a very Simpsons thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all like, different rides that may do that, but I think Despicable Me even says like this is a ride at some point in their spiel.
Yeah, they do. They understand that it's a ride. Yeah.
But like other than that, I don't know how you go meta, because that's been done before. Unless you do something to the effect of like, I honestly don't know. It's hard because we're working in the real world, not the digital world. You can't really go meta too much with the real world versus a game. But yeah, I guess that's really it. Do you have any closing remarks you want to say? I guess we have to do our probability rating.
Yeah.
Our Disattractions approved probability rating.
I mean, what I'm going to say is that this entire area is probably a -5.
No, I 100% agree. I honestly don't. I would be weirded out that this would ever happen.
But hey, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
Weird things have happened in the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're getting a Five Nights at Freddy's attraction at Universal, so like for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So it's like, if that's happening, man. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, so it's not possible. I just doubt any of this would ever happen.
No, I agree 100%. This wouldn't never happen.
Yeah.
And this normally I'm like, oh, how much I want this to happen. a part of me is like, this is not going to represent the IP well, because again, the characters and everything and done the video game is so tied to that medium. It's like,
Yeah.
it's really hard to bring that out, of what it is. And so it's like, I wanted to talk about it mainly because I know Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 came out. It'd be interesting to talk about. It was something we both kind of knew stuff about a little bit. But maybe this inspired you guys to go back and play Undertale and maybe even try the new Deltarune chapters, because it's a good time. But yeah, I think the final thing I kind of want to leave this off with is, I guess anything can be on a Disattractions podcast. Again, like if you want to see us do more of like creative works, like movies, video games, music, or whatever, or do you want us to see us tackle something more of like a theory, or like a place, or like a more real world aspects rather than just creative works? Oh, looks like Brett left, so it's just left with you and me now. Let us know. Yeah, I guess that's all I really had to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and listen to our content. And I guess I'll see you next episode. See you guys.